finger? Hell yeah.
Class is in session, this is the show where knowledge is profit, just so you know. Army Piper, OC guy, and Trade Fly, bringing crypto news to the whole alumni. It's the word on the market, the one-stop shop for the info you need every time that it drops. The go-to show that you need right now. This is Piper Academy, it's all going down, let's go.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Good morning and welcome to the Morning Market Report. We are right here with Piper Academy. Going to be looking at some key levels today, guys. Ethereum, not doing so great. Everything else, pumping like crazy. Ironically enough, ETFs bought $96 million worth of Ethereum, and we're not seeing any move, guys. I think we got more dip coming, but there's going to be some levels to the upside we're going to hit first. We're going to take a look at all of that today on the Morning Market Report right here on Piper Academy. Let's get it, guys. Classes in session. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Morning Market Report here on Piper Academy. I am Army Piper. We got a great show lined up for you today. OC is out today, but I do got the Trade Fly, and we were just backstage talking here about some Solana calls and how it's looking right now. So that's why he came into the chat there right off the bat saying, choo-choo, what's up, Trade Fly? How you doing, man?
I'm chilling, man. It was a long night last night, man. It got wild. Let me tell you. No sleep for me, but I'm here. I'm ready to grind, and I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to talking about some things and going through some TA with you guys, and having a couple of calls that have been playing in my favor recently. So we'll take a look at those in the charts, and yeah, let's get after it, man. I'm ready. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's give a shout out to the people in the chat though before we jump in there. Eric Wallace said, "Let's do it. Let's do it." That's what he said. So, who all we got in the chat today?
All right, let's run down the list. This is my thing, Warrior 4588, my fellow aviator. He's in the house. The Nato Cabrera. How you doing, brother? Museum of Corruption. Alexander G, best mind in the house. Harp is in here saying morning with the coffee. We need our coffee, baby. I'm gonna load up. Bucks in the house, username Justin Eubanks, my man Blackie Chan, Eric Ballin Wallin, and that about wraps it up. So thank you guys for being here. We truly appreciate it. And yeah, enjoy. If you guys enjoy this, actually, if you get anything from it, how about a little like and subscribe, a little love for your team that comes in here every morning, gives you some of that alpha, pumping it up. Let's go.
Got to go through all of that. It's right there. See there? It's got a little pop-up. I got this all set up. Let's get into some news, man, and then let's go jump into the charts because I'm seeing some levels above and below. So I'm sure the people want to know. If you guys like that little Bitcoin French onion dip there, that's for the community here. You guys always talk about French onion dip, and there you go, a little Bitcoin for that dip. So let's go over here and check out the news, man, and let's see what we're seeing here, guys. Looking at the Fear and Greed Index right now, we are looking at Fear 29. Nothing major going on here. Extreme fear, sure. We've seen this thing at 17, but right now people are still fearful regardless of that rally that we've had. So let's jump over here, take a look at the crypto bubbles on the daily. With Dog with Hat up 28.3%, Popcat at 44. So we're seeing a trend here, guys. You guys remember those? The meme coin rallies, we're seeing the meme coin rallies again. But at the same time, we are getting a little bit of real true movement here also in the blue chips, if you will. Bitcoin up 3.9%. Ethereum only up 0.9%. That's what I was just talking about at the beginning of the show as we were coming in. BNB is up 3.4%. Solana up 10.7%. All aboard on the Soul Train. If you know, you know. XRP is up 2.2%. Dogecoin up 6.2%. Toncoin up 3.7%. But it did lose one of its spots here. Its market cap dropping down to number 9 as Dogecoin moves up to number 8. So there you go. Cardano's up 4%. Cardano is outperforming Ethereum. I'm just going to put that out there, okay? Cardano is outperforming Ethereum. I do have a couple of new charts I'm going to show you guys today also in relation to Ethereum. So we'll take a look at those two. I've got a lot of comparison swap charts. You guys can see how those other alts have been comparing to Ethereum. So Litecoin up 2% there in that 19. And then rounding out the top 20, guys, Near Protocol taking the position from Polygon Matic, Near Protocol being up 6.5%. Right behind it, though, Caspa. Beautiful Caspa up only 2%. Let's go and check out the liquidations here. Excuse me. Don't know where that one came from. Check out the liquidations here, guys. In the past 24 hours, 52,336 traders were liquidated. Total liquidations coming in at $152 million. Largest single liquidation happened on OKX. It was eSwap. Go figure. $2.6 million there. Jumping over to the economic calendar. We got really nothing this week. And this is one of the things that I said in the description. So top of the tater for your dip. Nice. I personally prefer that. Amy Lives Crypto, we love you. Thank you for being here. And I will try, next time I'll change the name. I'll put top of the tater dip on there for the dip that we use. We don't really have anything the rest of the week, guys. Thursday, we got initial jobless claims. That's tomorrow, okay? That is a weekly report that comes out all the time. We don't really get anything until next week. Next week, we're going to get that PPI data, and then we're going to get the core inflation data, okay? As of right now, PPI looks like it's going to be coming down. This is the producer price index, okay? Core PPI is looking like it's going to be down, forecasted to be down to 0.2% or down 0.2%. And the producer price index itself for month over month going to be down 0.1%. So you can see that there. All right. Let's go and look at Wednesday, though. That's the core inflation rate. This is a big one that they look at for the Federal Reserve for rate cutting. It actually says it's going to be higher. So I see a lot of volatility next week. We're going to get that inflation rate. It's supposed to be static. If this comes in higher, then you're probably going to see a lot of rollback on those rate cuts. If this comes in lower, then yes, we're likely going to see rate cuts because we have a weakening labor and we have inflation. I just don't see how that plays out that way. I think next week we get a lot of volatility. And if there's anything that's going to send us down for more downside, it's going to be this core inflation rate coming in even higher than what they're projecting, which is already up, or this inflation rate coming in and we're going the wrong direction. That's what I think is we need to keep an eye on there. Let's look at these earnings reports today, guys. We got this morning Walt Disney beating their expectations. I already saw that on the news earlier, but big ones for today. Lyft, Sony is on here. Robinhood is going to be after the market close today. We got Digital Turbine, and then that's pretty much it on that side. HubSpot, maybe, sure. Tomorrow, though, we got Eli Lilly. That's a large pharmaceutical company coming in here. And then the one that all eyes on for me, CleanSpark, right there. We're going to be watching CleanSpark. Where you at, CleanSpark? Come back over here. There we go. Going to be watching CleanSpark right there, ticker CLSK. It is a Bitcoin mining company. If you don't know, and now you do, that's what I'm going to be watching tomorrow. I've got quite a bit in there for transparency purposes. I like my CleanSpark, so that is what we're looking at there. Let's go ahead and jump back over to the duo cam. So the markets not looking too bad. Some looking better than others. Some looking extremely limp. We'll say that it's not doing good. That's a flaccid price action there. I'm just going to put that out there. Matter of fact, when you look at the chart, it's kind of interesting. I'm just gonna go over here and we go to Ethereum. There we go. And let me throw up that chart. I'm just saying, it's not looking very strong. So let's go ahead and take it and talk about Bitcoin, man. How are you feeling about the market dip? I woke up in a great mood today. I don't know why. It's hump day. I'm drinking my coffee. I got TradeFly on here with me. Everything is right in the world because I'm here with the alumni. So
yeah, that's my alumni. You know what I mean?
How are you feeling about the dip and how things have performed on the way back up? I feel, I said this before, if we get a rally in August, I feel like it's a sucker's rally before we pull back even more. How are you feeling?
Well, right now, short term bullish. And I said that yesterday as well. And that, I mean, very simply put, we got over a pretty key level for me in terms of resistance. And then we got over a moving average that I've been watching as well. So we got that OC retest that I've been looking for. We'll look at it on the chart. But short term, I'm kind of bullish. I think we're going to push back up to the previous range. So overall, I mean, it's hard to predict where Bitcoin's going to go. It's really interesting to me at how like doom and gloom a couple days ago was. It was like recession everywhere, all terrible earnings reports, like everything's going down, and then all of a sudden it's like we have this nice bounce, and it's like I don't know, man. It feels almost orchestrated, the way
It
that,
feels very
the
trappish to
institution
me.
came in and just snatched up retail's Bitcoin. Like call me crazy, but it just kind of felt that way. But the beautiful thing is we knew the liquidity was sitting there. We knew that as a community. We've been talking about it for a very long time. And you all should have had limit orders sitting around 50,000 if you were listening to me. But that being said, short term bullish. Overall, like, I told you I'm kind of shifting my mindset to a long game, right? So I'm kind of thinking about where is Bitcoin going to be in 5 to 10 years, and I'm really going to just try to accumulate as much as I can.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm with you 100% on that. Let's go ahead and let's look at the Bitcoin chart, and then I got some levels to show. I'm going to show some levels. So,
I'll show you
I
mine if you
got
show me yours.
what is going on with the show today? Oh my God. Okay, let's jump over to Bitcoin. Guys, I'm looking at Bitcoin here. Let's just isolate off this top chart. We do have the CME gap here. We talked about this already. We are in the golden pocket. We got above the golden pocket yesterday. If you guys remember yesterday, I said, look, we're at critical resistance right now. We got to get above this and find support. Guys, let me know if we're still live. I had a little glitch there in the system, so I'm not sure what happened, but let me know if we are still live. And I think we are. So there we go. Yep, trade flies were hopping back in. Okay. So we're good. Yeah, it was buffering. I see it now. So anyway, guys, we have the CME gap in here. We are looking at upside. I think I just had a flash of power. We got some high winds here in El Paso area. So bear with me. We're going to make it through this show, though. We do have the CME gap. We also, right above us, have the dynamic reactor on the 4-hour. We've got the 50 and the 100-day EMAs coming in. Nice little range up here. Guys, if I go over here and I throw on, first of all, a fixed range volume profile from this area here, you'll see that right there in line with that is the value area high. We are above that point of control, okay? And then one more piece of info here. If we go over here and we throw on a fib retracement, guys, look, golden pocket is coming in right in that area also. I would watch for us to get our move up here. Let me go ahead and grab a path. Got to get the pathway. There we go. I would watch for us to do a move up here because we're on the 382 right now. You guys can see that right there, 382. I think we come up. We get a little bounce here off of that 0.50. We reject down, possibly going all the way back down to the 382, but we'll see. It comes up and it closes the CME gap. Watch for us to get into this golden pocket, okay, and find resistance right here in the range of all this stuff coming in, okay? That is what I'm going to be watching coming in here. We have an extension play through of all of this resistance right in here in the golden pocket, and that is a key critical level. If we're going to dip, I think it's going to be after that takes place. That level, guys, coming in at about $62,000 Bitcoin. So that is one thing that I am watching. Someone said that Bitcoin really does like at 66. Sure. Yeah, that's right here in the middle of the platinum pocket on this retracement also. So very possible it could reject from there. But let's get hone in a little bit. Let's take a look at TradeFly's charts and let's see what TradeFly has on the heat map because I'm sure he's got a lot of info on that too, man. Welcome back, TradeFly. It was the quickest recovery ever. I had a flash on my internet and then all of a sudden, bam, we're right back here doing it live again. So let's go see what you got on your chart, man.
Yeah, mine said, thanks for joining. I was like, well, I guess we're done here. So yeah, looking at the liquidation heat map, I got on the 3-day. So we've talked about this before. One of the things that I want you to pay attention to, when it was trending down, you kept seeing hot spots underneath. People kept getting in leveraged long situations that kept getting liquidated. Now we're seeing a very similar trend on the way up. people are expecting the price to go down. So they're getting into these leveraged shorts. All right. And you can see it keeps getting hot, and they keep getting basically liquidated. All right. You saw this one. I talked about this one. I believe it was yesterday on the show. We were sitting here. I said, don't be surprised if you see a wick up, clear this out. Came back down. We got hot again, came up, cleared them out. Now we're getting hot again. So I'm just going to follow the trend here. So for me, short term, I'm going to be bullish and say that the market maker is going to get his because people are just a glutton for punishment. Now, when you see this cool down and you see price move up and you see that, we don't have any hotspots anymore, that seems to be the trend that I've noticed the past couple times. That's when they get exhausted. And that's when you see a little bit of a reversal in price action. So short term, I'm going to say I'm still bullish based on the liquidation heat map but with that being said, so I've been talking about this channel. All right. And one of the things that I was saying, hey, look for the OC retest, right? Well, we got that. If you go down to, let's go to a shorter time frame just to make it pop a little bit more so you can see. All right, came up, struggled with a little bit, then it came down and it actually tested right here. And now we're starting to move up and right. So don't get too tied around what we got on the 1 hour. I don't really typically like to work with that all that much. The one thing I'll be a little scared of right now on the 4 hour is you can see it's losing some of its momentum, right? Indecision is what these candles are showing you right now. When you have those wicks on either side and a very short body, that's showing you indecision. And you see 3 of those in a row. All right. So we don't really know where we want to go right now. So we could actually come back down for another retest here, but we'll see. Ultimately, though, I'm feeling kind of bullish, and I think that we need to come up to this support range. We need to retest this support range as resistance, and then maybe we ultimately do make that move down that some people are anticipating. But I think this area is going to be key. I think people are starting to come back in the market. They're not as scared of what just happened a couple of days ago. Unless something happens like with numbers, which I don't think it will until next week, I think we kind of have, a clear move or the capability to get up to the support range here. And so that's sitting at about 59.6 to about 60,000. And you got all the moving averages up here over top of it. One thing I said too, I want to get over this 20. All right. So now you got the 50, the 200, you got the dynamic reactor, everything all sitting up here. This is just nothing but resistance for me. So again, I talked about this. If we get the retest, one thing that I would look for is a move up to the support range. Not a huge move, about 7%, right? That's not so bad if you're doing intraday or scalping. In this case, it's probably be, a 2-3 day trade. We'll see what kind of movement we get. It is slowing down a little bit here, but that's where I would be out in a short-term trade. Long term, again, it's kind of hard, right? Since February, I won't say since February, but since all-time high, we have actually set a series of lower highs and lower lows. So you got to be really careful there because short-term, we are kind of bearish if we're looking at this, just that formation that we got. If you really zoom out, though, and you go to the weekly, we're still bullish. All right. So understand that there's trends within trends. The macro, looking at the weekly, we're bullish, right? Because all we did was set a higher low by tapping this 2022 high. No big deal. Trend is still up and right from a macro perspective. Again, that kind of leads me for that short-term bullishness too, right? We come down, we touch an area of support because I think Piper did show you a broadening wedge or microphone or whatever, broadening wedge here, where you have this series of lower highs and lower lows, but it was kind of expanding. So there was an area of support there as well. So basically, long story short, I am looking still for a move up to the support range. Personally, keep a very, very keen eye on this area of support, this channel right here. If we break down from that, then that would give you a little pause. Look for that retest, and maybe then at that point, a potential short. So again, letting price kind of come to you. You're in the middle right now. So the play was when it came down for the retest, that's where, you jump into something. Right now, while you're in the middle, kind of stay clear of it, kind of wait to see what happens at this point, unless we get up here and start retesting these areas that were previously support and see if we flip those into resistance.
Yeah, here's that broadening wedge on the daily that you were just talking about. And you can see it literally candle close inside the wedge right there, wicks down below it, but it is moving up. You were talking about that weekly. I just want to show you guys, we have pulled back up in. Remember, I talked about this before. I said, as long as we can wick down here, we said it back here. I said, we can wick down into the phase 3 box again, right here in the platinum pocket. As long as we close weekly candles inside of this range box, it's still a bullish structure. So you talk about that bullish structure on the weekly, right there. It's pulled all the way back up into the range box on Bitcoin. So yeah, it's looking,
that got
it's
ate
looking
up quick, man.
Yeah,
That
it did.
wick is
Yeah, it
telling you
did.
that there is definitely buying pressure in those
Massive
areas.
buying pressure sitting down there. My only problem is the only hesitation that I have with, flipping on the bullish switch, little flashy neon back here saying bullish. The only reason that I'm not quite there is because nothing's changed with what the economics are showing. The carry, well, actually, we did have a little bit of a change. Japan has come out and said we are not going to do any more rate hikes. With our yen economy and the Nikkei dropping the way it did. So I will say that that is a change on the economic glide path that we were on, but that's about it. Everything else is still there. We're still looking at a 50 basis point rate cut in September, which is absolutely bearish for the markets. We are still looking at higher unemployment. We're still looking at stagflation scenarios. So theoretically, everything on the global economic and the U.S. economic realm is still saying this is not strong at all, possible recession coming, so on and so forth. No matter how you cut it, we haven't had anything change that for me to change the scenario. That's why I do believe suckers rally and then a little bit more dip, but it doesn't mean get out of the markets. I'm still holding everything. Matter of fact, I took some profit last Friday when we were talking about, hey, August red, right? I put this out to everybody. I took a little profit over there and over the weekend. I put it all back in yesterday morning, and now I've got a dollar cost average set up of $10 per my top 10 tokens daily. So I'm still dollar cost averaging in. If it goes down, I'll just catch them all. But and we've got to see a little bit of play out on what all is going on with the economy. So what do you think on that, man?
Piper's top 10 coins. I'm guessing you're going to post that in the members section of the Discord.
Yes, I'm going to post my top 10 coins and what I'm dollar cost averaging into. Matter of fact, I might do a video. I'll put it out to them first, and then I'll do a video about my top 10 coins and how I'm approaching more downside.
I can see it now.
Piper's top 10. Let's go ahead and let's check out some news. Shout out to ZTS Rhythm, my son on his way to his fiat mining job. Just had to give him a little shout there. Let's go ahead and jump over and check out this. I do too. I know he's fiat mining, man, and it is not fun fiat mining. You guys know that. At least I'm not getting blown up or shot on the fiat mine this time. I'm just saying. Let's jump over here and check out this news. Oh, look, we got a 3-pack up for a 2-pack. That's not good. Let's go throw a 2-pack on, and then let's put you in there, TradeFly. How about that? That would be nice for the people to be able to see your face. There we go. TradeFly's in the house. TradeFly for the win. I wanted to look at this article here because this article is pretty interesting. It just goes to show you look, I got to put my face in here. I did not mess with this at all because I don't know why. I don't know why I was so messed up there. Ethereum ETF skyrocket. Now, keep in mind, hold on. Before let's set this up. I just showed you the Ethereum chart a little bit ago. It's very flat, not doing anything, not moving up at all like the other altcoins. And then I'm going to show you the performance levels. I got a bunch of ETH swap, but I wanted to place that out. I wanted to put that there before you guys read all of this. Ethereum ETF skyrocket, $98 million worth of inflows, reaching $7 billion in total. Guys, that's why the thumbnail said what it said. More dip, and then it's got it says, guess who's buying? Smart money, big money is buying up the hell out of Ethereum right now, along with everything else. Bullish sentiment has returned in Ethereum's ETFs markets. Ethereum spot ETFs have started to sustain positive momentum after several days of stagnant growth. After they went live, these ETFs saw one day of major inflows and then had 4 straight days of outflows. It was mostly due to Grayscale's ETH. Go figure. We've seen this before. We've watched this movie before, guys. It just had a different title, right? It was Bitcoin ETF. It has been seeing outflows even today. The market also witnessed a similar trend with Grayscale's Bitcoin ETF. However, the other Ethereum ETFs have now started to gain investor interest and confidence. As per So Value, the Ethereum spot ETFs witnessed a total net inflow of about $98 million on August 6th. Okay, let's jump over here and take a look at another thing that I got here on X marks the spot. It is going to be right here. Morgan Stanley's 15,000 advisors will start pitching Bitcoin ETFs from today. Here we go. They're buying up the dip, guys. They really are. And as Eric Wallen and I know so well, the composite man will back up the boat to come get the crypto. Shout out to Eric Wallen. If you know, you know. But yeah, so we're seeing dips here, guys, on all of this stuff. And we're seeing that they're buying it up. ETFs are scooping this up. Morgan Stanley getting ready to make big moves on it as far as it goes with pushing this to their investment pool. And then lastly, guys, another one over here that I want to show you. I had to pull this up and get it ready. This is from Kyle Dupes over there at Crypto Banter Team. He said Japan Metaplanet aims to raise 10.08 billion yen for Bitcoin buying spree. This is another major institution buying the crap out of Bitcoin during this dip. So guys, yeah, there's a dip. Yes, I think there's more downside coming. Why am I DCAing in now if that is the case? Because everyone else is, right? Smart money is buying this up right now. TradeFly. Have you seen any other news out there as far as, big institutions buying this up? I know I've seen something on BlackRock recently. I just don't have it all today, but we can talk about some of it. I know BlackRock just
bought $18 million worth of Ondo. But yeah, there was an article by JP Morgan that basically said that institutions were buying the dip. And I guess there was some sort of, on-chain analysis where they were looking at some of the wallets. But yeah, the institutions were buying, and that's part of the reason I'm still keeping my bullish sentiment is because, they came right in and snatched it up. So they are very interested in keeping Bitcoin at that price. And I don't know if it's so much as keeping it at that price as though is they're like, hey, 50K, we're all in, bro. Like we got big plans for where this Bitcoin's going. So like 50K, hell yeah, sign me up. Give me lots of that. I mean, countries were buying it. I mean, it was crazy. Institutions from Europe, like I think the 4th largest institution from Europe, they bought a bunch as well. Like, I mean, there thousands and thousands of Bitcoin just went to institutions, and we just let it happen.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Blackie Chan in the chat saying, do they understand the burn mechanism? They're selling off will bolster the price. It's true. Every transaction increases the throughput, and the more the throughput gets tightened up, the more burn off happens. And, we haven't seen that deflationary number on Ethereum in a while, but could be happening soon. We all know Cass is number 1 on your list. Hopefully Injective makes the list. Blackie Chan, it's not in my top 10, but it is in my top 15. I'll tell you that. Injective is in the top 15. It's really because I need to see it come down further before I start picking it up. Injective got a huge pump, and I did not get in early enough to dollar cost average into it. But if it come down a little bit lower, I would probably move it up the list. So there you go, Jack Blackie.
I bought some couple days ago when it I think Blackie Chan said something about Injective. I was like, I'll buy some for you, whatever. I dropped 500 on it.
Buy it. I got that. I got 5 on it. Let's go check out Ethereum while we're talking about it, and then let's come back and look at some altcoins, guys. Let us know in the chat what altcoins you guys would like to see, and we'll get to those. Also, TradeFly. Before I go into ETH, you want to do me a favor? Someone said they want to hear about gold, and they want to hear your catchphrase on gold, and they want to see that chart. So can we pull that up and do a little bit of gold?
I can pull the chart up, but more importantly, I think I know what he really wants, and I will honor this.
I love gold.
I love it.
Gosh,
What
I
are you
love it.
seeing on
All right.
gold, bro?
Let me find gold. I don't usually look at gold. I got to be honest with you. I just love saying gold because I love that part of the movie. Let's see here. Gold, 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 gold. Here we go. Let's look at some gold. All right, sitting on the 4-hour right now. The gold, I mean, it does kind of look like there is an uptrend here. It's going up and right, and you're sitting on top of the 200 SMA for the 4-hour. Okay, so I mean, looking all right. You are interacting right now with the dynamic reactor. It looks like you want to get on the top side of the dynamic reactor, and it looks like it actually just turned green as well. So, I mean, it is moving up and right. You did have a hit of the bullish divergence here when it was coming down and interacting with that level. That's actually a nice little area to take a a short-term trade as well. So overall, I'd say looking bullish. You are yeah, I mean, it's got the pressure to the upside. If you're gonna put a trend line on it right here, you can see the pressure. I mean, you can argue that this is a lower high if you want, but overall, the trend really looks like it's going up and right. So, yeah, overall on the 4-hour looks good. We'll zoom out real quick, look on the daily, see what we see here, and yeah, I mean, geez, that
Yeah, it
was
looks
a nice
strong.
little move up.
It looks strong,
And
man.
I mean, yeah, not even a like it cooled off, right? It consolidated, but now you're seeing upward pressure at the end of that consolidation. The way it looks to me is there's still some potential for some upside, which is really crazy. Let me zoom out and see like let's go to the weekly. I mean, are we talking like all-time high kind of stuff here? We are?
Yeah.
Oh no,
Oh,
hold
yeah,
on.
we
This
are.
says hold on. Am I looking at the right thing? CFD is on gold.
So here, I got a gold for you, man. I got a gold chart.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pull yours up,
it
man. I
is.
don't really usually look at
It is
gold to be
coming into
honest,
all
but
time highs.
this looks bullish
It's all
AF.
good. It is, and I'll show you why I think it really is bullish AF. The all time high is right over here. That's this 2483. Okay, that we got back here on 17 July, right there. But what I am watching closely here is, guys, look where we bounced, even on the 4-hour. Let's go to the 4-hour. Look where we got the bounce. It's in the golden pocket of the fibs. So, like, this is showing that that is strong. We are right now looking back at the 4-hour dynamic reactor. Excuse me, render. Thank you. At the dynamic reactor there, we got a clean bounce and candle close on the 50-day moving average. So, yeah, overall, I do think that gold is getting really, really good levels here. If it punches up and gets on the 382 and gets another bounce up, then, we're looking at coming back up to retest all-time highs again. Remember, gold's a slow mover. It does. What is important to know is that when gold's going up, it's usually because people are using it to hedge against the fear of the investment world, and that is what it's. That's what's happening right now, and I think so. I think as things start to play out, and the reality of the speculation of what's going to happen becomes reality, that there's that phase that it just kind of fades into out of speculation to, oh crap, this really is occurring. I think that's where you're going to see gold come back and make a new all-time high. So I just wanted to
Yeah, I
talk
mean,
about that. But
the
yes, overall, TradeFly
like
loves gold.
like you said, hedge against inflation, and also when things get weird in the world, people like having tangible assets, right? Because you have that fear of like, okay, banks may go away, digital stuff may go away. Like, what are you gonna have? Because when it comes down to it, how did we kind of survive and get by in earlier days? We traded. Right. So you got to have tangible assets to trade with. And that's why I think people flock to gold and silver and some of those commodities, when things get weird in the world. It's just that natural kind of cycle and wave that you see where people, they just want something they can touch. So
Yeah, I want to
it's not surprising.
I want to show you. I mean, just to put this in the grand perspective, we've been looking at this these market sell-offs, right? But this one here, this is the Dixie. The Dixie's looking bearish. This is the U.S. dollar in comparison to other global currencies. So when we have the Dixie pulling back like that, the only choice to go to when you pull out of investments, oh God, I'm selling, right? That normally goes to the dollar. But if the dollar's pulling back, that means that people are going even further. And it's been going to gold, and it's been going into treasury bonds. That is where people are putting their money at right now to protect it. So I still haven't seen that shift occur, even with the bounce that we're getting. So let's continue on. Let's go take a look at Ethereum. Shout out to everybody that's coming into the chat. Jim Kramer said lead. Hey, I'm bullish on lead. I have an entire safe full of it. Let's talk about Ethereum. Then I'm going to show you guys what I'm looking at here on some ETH versus other altcoin swaps. So let's get into that. Let's do that. Moving over here, guys, taking a look at Ethereum, and I'm on the daily right now. You can see that we've got this pullback. We had a nice big wick down here. Coming in as low here is about $2,100, right? I did have a trade yesterday. I closed it out, 58% gains on the trade. I picked it up at $2,200 Ethereum on the long. I'll drop that into the chat. I'll drop that into the Discord for receipts, so you guys know. But I did pick up a $2,200 long on Ethereum. We are holding right here at above $2,400. This is like the line in the sand currently. And if we look at the 4 hour, you can see it's just really just weakening out here. What I am concerned about, you guys know the Adam and Eve. We talk about the Adam and Eve, right? Where it comes up and then it comes back down and then it does this rounded belly, right? That is a very bearish pattern. And I know that this doesn't have it here, but it can do this where it comes over and then we get another spike up and then it comes down. And that is what I'm concerned about. I'm going to be watching closely for this rounded belly because this tends to lead. I mean, you can see it here. Look at this long stretch before we came back down again. This tends to lead to more downside. I think we have more downside coming on Ethereum. This one looks more bearish to me than a lot of the other alts, and we can see that when we look here on the 4 hour. We are starting to get another red Heikin-Ashi here down at the 30% line of the RSI, the Relative Strength Index. It looks like we're about to get a zero line bounce here on the Oscillator Pro ribbon. And then we move on to the daily. This is the only reason for hopium on this chart. When we look at the daily, guys, it does look like we're about to get a little ribbon twist there, and we are sitting very low with flat bottoms here on the RSI Prime. So it is possible that we see us get a little move up, but as of right now, when I look at the short term says a little bit further downside and then up. So I don't know, guys. We're going to have to wait and see. But let's go look at those alt swaps from Ethereum. I want to show you guys this. This is Solana versus Ethereum. So obviously Solana greatly outperforming Ethereum, okay? This is Link versus Ethereum, and you can see Ethereum's been stronger than Link. Matter of fact, Link to Ethereum getting a little rejection here on the 50-day moving average. ADA versus ETH looks like it's really bullish, but if we go and we put this on the daily, guys, let's isolate this top chart off. There we go. It not doing well against Ethereum. So really Sol, let's go ahead and put a color one on Sol. Sol burning ETH up, right? Tron doing very well in comparison to Ethereum. XRP looking very weak versus Ethereum. So I guess Tron, we can go ahead and put one there. Let's check out Avalanche. Avalanche not. So overall, Ethereum doing really good in comparison to everything but Solana. That's what I wanted to point out there. But right now, Ethereum is not looking very good. T.A. Joe, a real American hero in the house. What's up, Trade Intuition? OC. Man, I miss OC. Can we get an OC in here for this trio? Tradefly, what do you got on your chart? Let's go ahead and take a look. I'm pretty sure I know where you're taking us. You're taking us on a trip, ain't you?
I'm throwing a curveball at you. I got to be honest. So I started looking at Cass in the background, and holy bullish. Like, look at the up and right trend of this, and something I really want you to pay attention to. Go ahead, take a fib retracement, take it from low, take it to the high, and then look at how predictable Cass is on the daily. Nice push up, cool down, pull back, golden pocket. Nice push up, pull back, cool down, bounce off the 0.5. Nice push up, all-time high, pull back, off the 382. It is literally doing like a staircase.
Textbook structure. Yes, I love Caspa for that.
Unbelievable. So keep an eye on Cass. If you want to look at something, and what I would challenge you to do when you guys have time, go through some of the altcoins, some of the big ones, and just pull them up and look at them all same time frame, on the daily, the weekly, whatever you want to do. But make sure you're using the same like time frame in terms of when I say like, hey, let's use from September of 23 to June of 24. Use what you want, but I challenge you to put those altcoins up and then go page by page and look at this structure between the 3-4 coins that you pull up, and you're going to see a difference. And that's one of the ways that you can tell what project or token has strength, going through this market right now. And Caspa is one of those you can look at on the chart from zoomed out and be like, that looks different. That looks different than some of the other tokens that I'm looking at. This is
For
like
sure.
really up and right. And some of the other ones during the same time frame are actually kind of pulling back, and they're, like Bitcoin, right? Right. We looked at that. What was the structure on that? It was a series of lower highs and lower lows from this same time frame. But when we look at Caspa, it's inverted. So that's one thing that you guys want to do sometimes when you're trying to identify, one of those Piper, top tens. I bet Caspa's on it. So that's something that you can do to kind of find some of the winners. All right. So, all right. In terms of numbers, what are we looking at here? You got a bunch of support on the daily getting underneath of you right now, right? You got the dynamic reactor, you got the 200. That's a biggie. And then what would be the logical move up if we were to follow this pattern? The logical move up for me for following this pattern is to go up to the all-time high and then come back down to the 236 and find support. So I'm going to give you those two numbers, all right? Because that's kind of the logical move. Unless something happens, the market pulls back for whatever reason. All-time high obviously is about 20 cents, and then the 0.238 is sitting right at about 16 and some change, pretty much where we're at right now. Okay, so the logical move for me is to see something that goes like that, comes down, and then we continue to move up and right. I mean, until we break this trend, there's nothing else more for me to say. I mean, I could always say, oh yeah, well, we could pull back to the 0.5, but really the structure is showing me this is what we're expecting to happen. So those are your big numbers to look at on Caspa. I'm going to keep this one pretty short.
Awesome. Let's jump over here. I'm going to take a look at JYMPA. I'm seeing some stuff on JYMPA, guys. You can see the pullback that we had here on JYMPA. We got that MP, that max profit print, and then down we come. Look what we came to. What do I always say about that 50%? If we bounce off of it from the upside, it is bullish, right? One of the things that happened here, we got that, and then we came back up through the 300-day exponential moving average, the golden pocket, and the 200. We are now up to the platinum pocket right now, currently on the 4-hour. Take a look at the daily on this, though, guys. The candle closed on the daily up in the golden pocket, the wick down to that 50% line, but the candle close on the 300-day and the golden pocket showing us support. We do have a ribbon flip down here on the daily, giving us upside movement after being oversold. There's a green little uptick arrow right there on the Oscillator Pro. That is a reversal indicator for upside. And now we're getting a green candle below the 30% on the RSI, Relative Strength Index, primed, right? We got these in Heikin-Ashi candles, and that is giving us indication of upside. You see what happens when it starts to go green? That's this move here. Guys, we're getting that now also on JYMPA. JYMPA looking very bullish. I will tell you, this is one of the ones in my top 10. So very excited about that. Up 6.5% today, getting really bullish support on the golden pocket. TradeFly, what you got up for us next, bro? Let's jump back over to your chart and see what you're looking at.
Hey, I did DJ a little bit of JYMPA. I'm not gonna lie.
Did you? Good job. Good job. It's time for the soul train. Take us
I
away,
went on a little
engineer.
spree, man. We had that dip. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna throw a little on JYMPA, a little here, a little there. And guess what? I did hop on the soul train, baby. Whoop, whoop. Let's do it. All right. So taking a look
we need a choo-choo train sound. We need a choo-choo train sound.
Come on, ride that train. Choo-choo ride it. Anybody remember that? I know.
I do.
Show my age.
I do. I'm old.
All right. Anyways, so So we talked about a couple key areas here. One of them was around 130 or so. That's I think when we really started kind of talking about soul here. And one of the things I was saying, hey, 142, that's a significant area. Point of control for the range is in that area. Okay, it has shifted a little bit because price action has continued to move, but initially it was at 142. All right, so what I was looking at here, you can see the little arrows. I like leaving these up sometimes. It's kind of how I have receipts, right? So one of the things I was saying, hey, look for the OTC retest when he gets over 142, comes up, down, perfect retest off of 142, and boom, moves up. And this is what I said. There's going to be resistance up here because you have all the moving averages. Well, look, it's losing a little bit of steam here. All right, see these wicks? So people are selling off a little bit as it's approached these moving averages. I mean, you got the 200 SMA, you got the dynamic reactor, you got a lot up here to work through. This is probably where I would close it. If you guys jumped on it at 142, short-term trade, this is where I personally, not financial advice, would probably close it. All right, I would probably close it, take that win, move on, and wait for the next move. That's a 7% move. Beautiful. All right, so then we wait to see how it interacts with this area, right? Do we start to see the RSI or the prime oscillator start to bend over and go in a negative direction with multiple retests of this with this area of resistance, or do we break through? If we break through, what are we looking for? The same exact thing we just did. All right, we're looking for the retest again. All right, we get over top of the moving averages, and then you want to see again. You know, we got to put a line in the sand though, don't we? Right. So we got the 200, we got a dynamic reactor. Let's go ahead and look back left on the charts. This looks significant. This looks significant. Retest breakdown, 162. That's got to be why I have this horizontal line. So that's going to be my line in the sand. That's what I'm going to look for, all right? We get on top of this, and then same thing we saw before, looking for that retest, and then ultimately for some movement to the upside. If we end up getting rejected, then wait. You know, no big deal. You can wait. It can come back down to 142, and you look for another retest in this area. And hopefully what you see is at that point, you see this come down a little bit, but then you start to see it bend back up and right. Okay. So let me go ahead and see if I can delete this one here. Maybe not. Maybe so. I just deleted the whole thing. All right, cool. Anyways, so what you want to see is a trend up and right of the prime oscillator, and just, you know, draw a line, and then you'll see it. All right, and that's what you'll want to look for, and that'll give you a little bit more confidence. Here is that if you see a retest around 142, that you might get a bounce or some price action off of that area, and then you have the potential to get back into something you might have missed. So keep an eye on that, and that's what I'm looking for on SOL.
Awesome. Let's jump over here to my chart. Actually, I want to jump over here to the chat. The username said, it's okay, Blackie Chan. You don't know what it was like walking 10 miles uphill and 50 feet of snow both ways. And Blackie Chan said, you had it easy. My dad talked about 20-mile walks at username. I know all about 20-mile walks with 80 pounds of gear on my body. So that's why I'm broken today. So yes, it is true. We did do 20-mile walks 100 with gear.
Packs.
Facts, big facts. Let's jump over here. I went ahead and looked at Injective. So shout out to Blackie Chan. He goes, put Injective on your list now, right? It's already dipped. Guys, I want to show you some stuff here. Let's turn all this off. Let's turn everything off here, and let's just talk about what I'm seeing here, because it might be time, and I'm going to show you why. We were back here, and I was talking about this range, this trend line. You guys remember this trend line that I had on here a long time ago? I said, look, this trend line goes all the way back. Oh, well, I just resumed up way too much. It goes all the way back to the January of beginning of the year, January 2024, coming all the way down, right? And I said, this line getting rejected on it is going to send us to the downside. And I said, well, how do we figure out where to the downside we could be heading? Well, we have to look at the fixed range volume profile, see what's on here. We do have a key level right here. If we lose this level of volume, we're likely going to be heading down to this level here, right? And I went ahead and I threw this rectangle box on here a long time back. Guys, we literally just hit the bottom of the box here. Now, what I will say is we are still below this line, so I'm not fully bullish yet. However, pause for effect. If we actually look at from this box up to where we would get here, that would be a 0.5% move on the daily chart. So I don't know that I want to wait for it to get all the way up there. So it might be time to start that DCA process in here. But as of right now, we are under a bearish trend line. I just want to point that out. But if we go over here and I throw on a fixed range volume profile that goes back a little bit earlier, right? Because you can see, let me hide this one again. Oh, nope. Let's turn that one on and hide that one. This one was pulled from mid rally, right? This was for this pull here. If we turn that off though, we go just a little bit further back and we get this entire rally. We just hit the value area low right there. That's the value area low for this entire fixed range on the volume profile. And we did get a rejection here. If you look closely, I'll zoom this out too so you can see a little bit there. We did get a rejection on a retest of that point of control. So I do think it could come back down here. I'm going to actually look at like about $15 for my dollar cost average entry on this. But as of right now, we are in some key areas that I think could be good. Also, if we go ahead and throw a the fib retracement on here, guys, we did get that rejection off of that golden pocket before we came down here. That is the 1-to-1 line on the fibs. So I'm going to be, I think, yes, Blackie Chan, I'm going to start doing some dollar cost average on injective, just basically looking at this, throw on these oscillators with it, and it looks very, very set up for some upside movement. Looking a whole lot like what we were just seeing on the chart earlier. When we were looking at, what was we were looking at? We were looking at something and I said, this is looking bullish. I think that was on JYMPA. Yeah. So it's looking a lot like JYMPA right now in these oscillators. So, TradeFly, what do you got for us, man? We got about time for like one more each. So you got another coin you want to pull up?
So I got Coinbase up, and I'm going to keep this one pretty quick. We did have a pretty significant
let's wrap it out with stocks.
Here.
I got a stock coming too. So there you go.
There you go. Yeah, we're spreading the love a little bit here. So Coinbase on the daily, we did have a pretty significant range around 206 that we've been honoring for quite some time. We're staying on top of the dynamic reactor. Look how long the dynamic reactor has been green. It goes all the way back to September of 23. It's been green. Well, one thing you can see here, green earnings report all the way across the board until now. So finally, we got a poor earnings report and it dumped C dude. But that really coincided with the rest of the market as well. So it was like a double whammy for Coinbase, right? You got a poor earnings report and, everything just dipped, because of whatever the heck happened a couple of days ago. Still trying to figure that out. I guess we can blame Japan if we want to.
I got a question for you while you're on there.
What's that?
Do we have I've been seeing everything gapping up and closing the gaps from Friday to Monday. Did we close that gap yet on there? Wick to wick?
Yes. It did wick to wick.
Everything has been doing that. Closing the gap. Everything has gapped up. Almost everything on the stock side has gapped up to the wick and then pulled back down again. So just be advised on that.
Which makes sense. You see that. You see that quite a bit. So yeah, I mean, we're on the bottom side of the dynamic reaction now. So we got to be very, very careful with Coinbase. I will say the only thing that really gives me any hopium for Coinbase is you're sitting on top of the 200. All right. So this is the 200-day SMA. You also do have a little bit of support here. Basically, what it was resistance. So it was really an untapped area that was resistance. Ultimately, before the takeoff, this was a key level at about 186. So keep an eye on that. You get on the bottom side of this support level as well as the 200, then I would say I would back off of this one personally. And then like where could we go? What are we looking at? Some horizontal levels here. This is a key one right here. All right, I can see this. I mean, just look at the chart with your eyeball, and you can clearly see right here where you had resistance. But what did we do? We came back down and retested this area as support, right? So we flipped what was resistance into support. And so that is going to be a key area for me. And guess what else this was? If I remember correctly, I don't know why that's gray. That's a terrible. All right, there we go. Now we're green. So I believe, don't hold me to it, but I believe this was also the golden pocket. So let's do a fib retracement back. Yeah, boom. It's almost I look at charts. All right, so it pulled back to the golden pocket dynamic reactor. That's why I had the airplane here. This was one of my calls that I was like, this is it. This is the one. And that's why I left the airplane there. But you can see like that's a really significant area. Okay, so let me give you that in price, and that's going to be 113. So if it does pull back, be ready to pounce unless there's some kind of terrible news for Coinbase. I'm actually personally right now going to send alert. Right, so when it goes down there, I'll get an alert and it'll let me know that like, hey, this has come down to that area. That's usually what I do. I'll do that a lot of times, but depends on how much conviction I have in it. Sometimes I'll just go ahead and put the limit order at that level. For Coinbase, that's not one of those plays. Bitcoin, it was. Coinbase is not. All right, so I'll wait. Comes back down here, I'll get an alert. That could be an opportunity to get a little bit of Coinbase. So that's what I'm looking at. A couple key areas there on Coinbase.
Awesome. Let's go over here. Let's talk about MicroStrategies. Okay, let's do that. For transparency purposes, guys, yes, I do own a lot of MicroStrategies. I actually did a whole video on it back in January and said I'm selling my Bitcoin. I went into MicroStrategies and I went into CleanSpark Bitcoin mining. With half of my Bitcoin, I kept Bitcoin, real Bitcoin, and then I also put some into these stocks. What I'm watching here on MicroStrategy, we did do the same thing here. We wicked up, close that gap, right? After getting a bounce down here. Guys, that level that I was telling you guys about, $1,050 right there. That is where we actually wicked down to in the golden pocket above the 300-day exponential moving average, closed that candle above the 200-day, and then took off, didn't even pause for any effect, any lunch, anything at the 50, just right on back through it. It did get up to the 382, and this has been consistent on 4-hour candles here. This has been consistent rejection on the 382 and the 100-day exponential moving average. However, if we look at the oscillators, they're not looking like, I mean, we are flattening out here. We could get a little more downside today. I would not be surprised to see that. A little sell-off happening. Why is that? Why am I not surprised that we're getting sell-off? Because we typically get sell-off when we're heading into a split. There's a rally up into it. Once it's announced, you can see that there. And then it comes back down. Look at this on the daily. Right there is where about 5th of July, when they put out their July reports and said, we're going to be doing a split. That would be in August on the 8th. That is coming in tomorrow. It rallied up, and then it started selling off. Got down to that level that we had been watching on the golden pocket, and now on the 4-hour, we are getting a rejection on this 382. That 10-to-1 split occurs tomorrow, guys. So I am not surprised to see this sell off. I am going to be watching for us to come down and get a bounce on the 50 because we did not. We busted through the door. We never came back and closed it. As TA Tim over in Investing Bro says, we usually come back and close a door once we bust through it and don't retest it. So back to that 50. I'm going to be watching that $1,223 there for the upside move on that after that 10-to-1 split. That is what we got time for. We're at the bottom of the hour. TradeFly, what a great show. My ETH chart may look flaccid, but I'm feeling pumped up. I'm just saying. So let's go.
Probably didn't. Did you see my comment in the Discord?
I did not. I did not. Let me go look over here. Let me
go
look and see
we'll
what you
talk
said.
about it afterwards. That one's
I just want to see what you said.
You can't read that one out loud. You can't read it out loud.
You're funny. You're funny.
Yeah.
Good Lord, this guy, the people I work with, I'm just saying. Hey, good show today. I appreciate you coming on and making it on here. OC not able to be with me today. I would have been doing this by myself with no constraints, nobody to keep me on track. So I appreciate you, TradeFly, being here.
Dude,
I spin off.
You want to know what I did last night? For you,
what'd you do last night?
To be here, I had to fly for 6 straight hours. Yeah.
That's rough. Brutal. How'd you even get away with that?
I got a headache.
How'd you even get away with that? How'd you even get away with that?
There's ways.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah,
yes, Alexander G just dropped that link there for the Discord. If you guys are not in our Discord, we have a free side. There is some special content in there, but it's very little. It's for the members if you hit that join link below. But the general hangout of our Discord, absolutely free, guys. So if you guys want to come and join the alumni, we would love to have you over there. It is Wednesday today, so I think today is the AMA for the members. So members, we'll see you in the AMA later on. Going to be hanging out with the Crux of Crypto. We're going to talk about some projects. He's got some things he wants to discuss, so we're going to be over there in the AMA today. But TradeFly, you got anything for the people on the way out, man? We're at the bottom of the hour. Let's get out of here. Let's wrap this thing up. What do you got for them?
Yeah, man. As always, it's great doing the show with you, man. It was a lot of fun today. Love mixing it up with you guys in the chat. You guys are awesome. You are really just part of the family at this point. And so, hopefully I see you guys next Bitcoin 2025 in Vegas, because the
Yes,
whole
sir.
team is going out there. So stick around, stay part of the fam. We love you guys. And come join us at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard. We got the crypto nightcap with FD White every Monday through Thursday. So
Love that
see
show.
ya
Love
later.
that show, bro. Love that show. Guys, thanks for joining us today. We had a lot of new people in here. If it's your first time joining the show here on Piper Academy, the Morning Market Report, please subscribe, hit that notification bell, get notified every time we go live. We're here every Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, bringing you guys news, economy, charts, markets, everything you need to have knowledge, because here at the Academy, knowledge is profit. We will catch you guys here tomorrow morning. Don't miss the nightcap tonight. And till then, trade safe. And as always, guys, use a stop loss.
I don't know what they keep telling me. I don't know what they keep telling me. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling out the wheels flow low. I know you hungry for knowledge, that's profit appetite. Classes in session, this for the Army Piper acolytes. Trade flag at the soul, train ready. What a line from OCI, from a Mexican spaghetti, yo. Crunch crypto with a deep dive to project dime. And if you like the visual powered by Car Prime, then you were part of that alumni, that's all spine. But if you have step, fall back to offline. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling out the wheels flow low. Sound off.
To get rhythm, the ZTS rhythm. Rip it, Alexandra.
Yeah, that's my alumni, you know what I mean.
That was awesome, dude!